started taking things from the house at a very young age. She even took my wedding rings to school one day.
With the teenagers, we also experienced having to put a lock on our bedroom door because they were stealing things out of the room.
They don't know how to use utensils. They are lots of times hungry. The twins that we had, they ate out of the trash can for like the first 3 months that we had them, even though we were feeding them regular meals and snacks, and it was just what they were accustomed to because they didn't get enough food where they were before.
These instances that we've had, they've had so much emotional trauma. I don't think they know how to trust anymore.
One of the hardest situations, I think, is when I get that kid that would challenge me and scream and holler at me and curse me out.
Little boy we have now, when he first came to us, he couldn't hardly talk. You couldn't understand him. He didn't know his colors, numbers. I mean, now he knows all of that. Plus, he's had speech therapy and you can understand him.
I had every caseworker, every therapist expressing to me that this child would never be potty trained. He would never talk. They've worked with him diligently, and they've not been able to get anywhere with him. In 7 months, I had him potty trained, and within a year, I had him saying words, sight words. Today, he's 13 years old, been with us for 10 years, and he can read better than you and I.
Now these girls that I was told would never dance, would never be social, would never, develop in the way that they have. I mean, they are now the most outgoing. They're involved. One of them just got her first job at Sonic. They're doing well in school. They have A's and B's.
Dana has worked with her so well that it's almost like talking to a little adult because everything that she responds with is a full sentence. And her vocabulary is just off the charts.
Eventually, they grow to like me or even if they, or love me, because some of them will call me mom and some will call me grandma.
We see the change in all of them. And that is what keeps us fostering, because we know at the end of the day, we have introduced them to some structure, to some stability, but most of all to love.
He likes to tell knock-knock jokes.
Over and over.
With the first placement that we had, I literally every morning would set aside at least an hour to an hour and a half, and in the afternoon set aside an hour to an hour and a half where I would just sit on my couch and hold all three of them. Because with all the toys and all the stuff that we had, they didn't want that. They just wanted me to hold them and love them because they had never gotten that.
We include him in everything, vacations, celebrations, traditions. I mean, we call him our son. Our kids call him their brother.
Those kids are like my kids because I love them as if they were my biological children. So I want to see those kids succeed. I found that being patient and understanding is the key to getting these kids to feel comfortable with you.
You want to treat them like their family. You want to involve them, have them go to family reunions, have them meet your family. If you go out every Sunday to church, take them to church with you.
Because of his challenges, his delays, he has issues making friends. Mainstream kids don't understand him. But yet he, still says, never give up.
So I have that whole team to support me, which is very great. Because if there's something going on with the kid and the kid doesn't want to listen to me or may not want to talk to me, then I'll pick up the phone and call one of the people on my team that I know that will talk
try to help that kid resolve the issues.
We all support one another. We all help each other out in the time of need if we need respite or one of us gets sick or need to go out of town or on a vacation.
Any children that we've ever had in our home, like my parents include them just like all the other grandkids, you know, Christmas, birthdays, they get Easter packages in the mail. And
I'm going to tell you this, I would not be able to do it without my husband.
And of course, I couldn't go without her.
We were looking forward to adopting them as early as October, and then November, December, December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas, they were taken out of our home and placed back with Mom. So that was the hardest thing in 10 years that I have gone through. And right to this day, it still hurts.
When they come to you and they're going through a lot and you make drastic changes and you know you had a part in making those changes and helping those kids, and I hope that they will not, when they leave, go in a situation that will cause them to fall back on that, what they were going through before they came to you. That's very emotional, and the fact that you're just going to miss them. Certain things you miss, you have a full house and now you don't.
Yeah, it's a struggle. It's a struggle for our biological children, too. They deal with the emotional toll of kids, brothers, sisters coming in and out of their life.
But they need you to attach. People say that to us all the time. I couldn't do it, I'd get too attached. Well, that's what they need.
Yeah.
They need you to love them, and they need you to attach to them. Because even as hard and as heartbreaking as it was for us, we can see how they were better for it. I'll be okay. I can cry my eyes out for a month or 2 months, but they are better off because I loved them as hard as I did.
I took some kids to see Wonder. So Wonder was an exceptional movie, first of all, because, you know, when you think about the kids, they can't change what they were born into. You know, they can't change. But we, being people on the outside of that individual, we have the opportunity to change.
So when we watch the movie, and the little boy's face is different, I pointed it out to them. Do you see how his face is different? And yes, you know, and we talked about how it looks different than our faces. And I say, and who made him? And they say, God. And I said, and God made me, and God made you, God made everyone. So even though he looks different than we do, we're still going to be kind to them.
Also, you have to, you know, think about the kids, you know, who need it. They need foster parents. They still need them. Everybody just can't. Everybody can't do it, but it's a very high need.
There is definitely a need for other foster parents because I'm sure the ratio between how many kids are in need of help versus how many parents or foster parents that are out there is greater.
We just don't have enough foster parents for these kids, and I wish a lot of people would get aboard.
No, we need plenty more foster parents, you know, because there's plenty of kids out there that, you know, have nowhere to go, you know, and they're in the system and no way out. And so, you know, if we had more foster parents, you know, that would be a plus to the children.
There's a possibility you're not cut out for it. You know, it takes a special person to be a foster parent, to understand the children, and to be able to try to guide them and help them in however they're needing it. And some kids are easier than others. So maybe a certain age group, or be very specific about what it is you are willing to deal with.
My biggest reward is to see a child give back what you have given them. And that's love, understanding, and respect.
The biggest reward for me in doing it is the fact that I can make a change in another person's life, that I have made that change, that I will be somebody that child would always remember.
The hardness of it doesn't even come close to the reward on the other side of watching a kid, you know, that comes to your house that doesn't talk and doesn't know how to play with toys. A little love and nurturing, and how they just open up like flowers.
You may be the very one to save a life.